HEX is the first certificate of deposit on the blockchain. It's an immutable smart contract that rewards those who lock up their coins when they stake. In other words, HEX was designed to be like a long-term savings account, but with far greater yield than anything the bank has to offer. If you're new to cryptocurrencies, here's how all of this works. When you purchase HEX, it behaves just like any other cryptocurrency. They vary in price as people trade them, just like Bitcoin. However, unlike other crypto assets, HEX pays you interest in the form of more HEX for locking up your monetary value for a selective period of time. The longer you time lock your HEX, the higher your interest rate will be. This is not unlike a traditional banking certificate of deposit. The key difference is, HEX was designed to yield extraordinarily high rates of return versus typical banking products, and puts you in complete control over your finances. But what does this really look like? Some people get into HEX without understanding enough about the product. They immediately make a large investment and throw out a few random stakes between 1 to 2 years. While this is great, HEX was designed to produce significant returns in both interest and fiat value over the course of several years, not just 1 or 2. If you properly understand its design, you can set yourself up to earn a perpetual passive income from HEX. This is like planting an orchard of apple trees. Apple trees are designed to take time to fully mature before they yield significant amounts of produce. HEX was designed in much the same way. Could you imagine trying to live on 2-year-old fruit trees that only just started producing a fraction of their full potential? Sure, you may see significant growth and even yield a little produce, but it would be impossible to enjoy the fruits of your labor for years to come. But what if you employed a longer-term plan in the development of your apple orchard? What if you planted a new crop each year from years 1 to 15? And what if you continued this process every year thereafter? If you did this, you would essentially have a never-ending supply of apples for generations. Can you imagine how much produce you'd receive from your 10 to 15-year-old apple trees? You could supply enough apples to feed a small country. This is exactly how HEX Savings works. It's a long-term savings account. Now, I'm not saying you should lock up all of your HEX for 15 years and forget about it, although some have, and they seem to be quite happy with their decision. I'm saying if you build a proper staking ladder, one that sets stakes to mature up to 10 or 15 years from today, you can enjoy the maximum yield on your investment for years to come. Having stakes set to mature between years 1 through 15 allows you to enjoy the fruits of your investment early, while also giving you the patience and discipline to reap potentially life-changing rewards in the longer term. It's the same as enjoying the abundant fruits of a 15-year-old apple tree versus a 1-year-old tree. Imagine if Bitcoin was designed this way. All of those who bought Bitcoin for $1 in the early years maybe wouldn't have sold all of their holdings at $10 and missed out on an additional 600,000% ROI in less than 7 years. Not to mention where the price is today. Maybe if Bitcoin earned more Bitcoin in the form of interest for holding, more investors would hold long-term and be less likely to sell. These supply and demand economics cause the price to soar with very little sell pressure. It's a model that allows everyone the opportunity to succeed. What happens if the global HEX network only sells their interest monthly, quarterly, or yearly and restakes their remaining principal? Theoretically, it allows for the most stable price appreciation to the upside over time. Climbing prices, coupled with unparalleled interest rates for HEX stakers, creates a positive feedback loop that ultimately leads to one thing: freedom for all. Learn more and get started today at Hex.com.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, be sure to share, be sure to comment. Yeah. Say heck. Heck yeah. Say heck, heck. Heck yeah. the jackpot. We still jackpot, bitch!
Thank you, Richard, for creating and founding the most amazing and disruptive financial technology cryptocurrency ever. Thank you, sir. And nice streams, Mr. BallietBran.
Alrighty, what is up, everybody? It's BallietBran. Hope everyone liked the shorter intro. I'm still experimenting on what songs are giving me the copyright strike. So as much as I love, Core Investors music and, same thing with Freddie Quotes, some of the songs are getting the copyright strike. So anyways, hope everybody likes the new intro and hope everyone's doing well. All right, so what's today's video going to be about, right? Well, Ethereum did crossed new all-time highs, and it's making new all-time highs. And already in the chat, I wanted to experiment a little bit with the title, right? Change the title up a little bit. So let me just go back to the title and just see what it says. So new all-time high Ethereum prices, Hex to $1 and more 2021 ? And we already got one of the plebs in the chat saying y'all are nuts, y'all are nuts for thinking Hex is going to go to $1. Yeah, dude, no, not at all. So maybe we can have a little educational training here in this video. But anyway, so yeah, good to see some of the Hexicans already in the chat, and I know we got the mods in the house, and we got some friends in the house too. So thanks everyone for joining. It's kind of just an impromptu stream. I should be at work right now, but wasn't feeling super up for it this morning, so we're doing a stream now. So let's get right into it, right? Ethereum's at new all-time highs. Let's pull up some charts and just cover some information on that. While I do that, Hex is actually pumping too, and yeah, I know, right? Glad to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, so when people ask me like, oh, what are your price predictions? And of course, like, I don't have a crystal ball, even though I do. But $1 Hex is not a lot, right? Yeah, hopefully the boss doesn't watch. Yeah, it's okay. They know I do crypto streams, and I already told them I truly wasn't feeling well this morning, so did have a headache or something. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Ethereum's pumping like a mofo, and we still have about 5. Let's see. It's on the 8th or on the 9th. We're going to cover that in this video, but on the 8th or the 9th, Ethereum is going to have its little futures, and we're kind of pumping up to that, right? So let me just pull up the information there, and then also we do have a new, not new. He's been in the Hex community for a while, but he's been coming on streams a lot, and I want to shout this guy out as well. So Whales Only, this man. Hey, dude, you're welcome on even now if you want, and feel free to come on and work your magic. I know someone like yourself is all about the data, and a lot of people miss Bitcoin, right? A lot of people had that opportunity for $1 Bitcoin, 25-cent Bitcoin, even Bitcoin at Mt. Gox prices, right? $5, $10, $15, things like that. But they didn't. They didn't take the opportunity that was in front of them, right? So Hex is that opportunity for a lot of us that have done our research, and a lot of us that don't want to miss the boat again. So David Feder's in the house, or David Fede as a hexologist. He's way better at it than me, but I just think it's funny, so had to repeat that. Corey, yeah, Corey, what's up, man? You're a great artist, and Corey's got a YouTube channel as well, and he's got some other like entrepreneurial stuff that he does. So shout out to him, man. He knows his shit. He really does, and he's got some cool bling bling too, man. Way cooler than a lot of people's bling. So good for you. Ubaldo, yep, mi amigo, ¿cómo estás? Yep. Good to see you, my friend. Viva Mexicana. Yes, Mexicana. Whales Only, I would, but I have to pay attention when I work. Well, a slower day. Hey, yeah, no, exactly. I just wanted to, make sure that you didn't feel left out, because someone like yourself, he's been similar to like El Hexadense, right? He's been coming on like a lot of streams lately and just really getting the information out there and just the education out there, and I really appreciate that. The more the merrier. Last night I joined, so there's like a, not tradition, but I guess it's like a new schedule now where every it's like 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesday nights, myself, Motley, Crypto Coffee, Look into Crypto, and Dollar Cost, we do like this Knights of the Round Table or hexagonal table. So it was cool to join that last night, and to this morning we're kind of rehashing some of the information that I didn't get to cover there, or that I maybe forgot to cover. So yeah, let's shout out Hexologist, guys. I mean, obviously everyone knows who Hexologist is, but you know, say support your fellow doctor, right? Go to Hex.doctor and download Sticker App today. So want to say something about that. Yeah, whales only used to be my best friend's motto when going out to nightclubs. Exactly. Whales only. That's fucking funny. That's awesome. Yep. Baldo, good to see you. Icon 427. Hey. Yeah, it's important indeed to get the word out. It really is. You know, I've noticed a lot of the people that initially put their head in the sand and called Hex a scam. A lot of those people are wondering, holy fuck, how did Hex pump to 2 pennies? Or, you know, I remember when it was back at a Satoshi, or, you know, you could get 1.8 million ETH or 1.8 million Hex per ETH, stuff like that. Those are the opportunities. You know, the most recent Hex dip we had was the opportunity. So without further ado, let's just kind of let's get some entertaining info on, right? Let's talk about Ethereum, because woke up this morning. Last night it was already kicking ass, but this morning especially. So let's share this tab real quick here. Okay, so Ethereum. This is just on Bitstamp, and this is just the daily. But like I was mentioning in a couple streams back, that we do have Ethereum futures coming out either the 8th or the 9th, and we'll cover more of that information in this video in this stream, because it's relevant to the title that I put. I'm not just going to put a title there and not cover that information. So we'll kind of cover some, you know, Bitcoin too, and Hex, of course. But we'll start out with Ethereum. So right now, Ethereum's at $1,636.18, and this is just a daily. And I'm no you know, analyst or anything, right? But just from what I remember way back in the day, this is just like, whenever you have like some sort of like consolidation and like lines that the actual candlesticks are adhering to, you kind of have like trends, right? And this was just textbook, you know, consolidation up this whole time, and then at this end of the wedge, you know, fucking breakout, right? And that's where you take this section, drag this stuff down, and this is where you really want to like expand your mind, right? The pleb in the chat that was saying like, oh, $1 Hex is, you know, a joke. Let's get to a cent first. It's like, dude, you know, we did have like a wick up to like 2 pennies at the you know, end of the year, at the beginning of 2021, and a lot of us, myself included, at the beginning of 2020 in January, you know, we thought like, oh, dude, if Hex goes to a penny, we're set. You know, let's get that golden yacht on order, and we're set. And now that it's shattered that paradigm, it's like, oh, we need to, like Richard says, we need to update our worldview and realize what the hell is going on. So this is really that Bitcoin opportunity at $1 Hexes, right? And we'll cover Hex in just a minute too. But you know, my brother and I were actually talking a little bit about Ethereum and, you know, the pump with Ethereum and things like this. And I was telling him that, you know, we have started a new bull market, right? And just like everything else in life is cyclical, bear markets are cyclical. We just got out of like the longest bear market that crypto's ever seen. And then for the bull market, you know, they can go anywhere from like 2 to 4 years. Yes, that's the real Corey. That's Corey. Yep. That's the real Corey, my friend. So anyways, we were talking like, dude, yeah, I mean, by the end of the cycle in a couple of years, this is just guessing, right? Like, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just making speculation and just guesses, just like anyone else would. But I mean, $10,000 Ethereum, that doesn't seem very high. I mean, my thoughts are kind of in like the $10,000 to like $30,000 Ethereum by the end of the cycle, and that's what happens when you can get such large amounts of money and huge swaths of money that finally start to realize, oh, this Robinhood thing that I'm like sitting with my thumb up my ass and just trading all these stonks, this is actually really centralized, and this is actually derivatives, and I actually don't hold this stock because, you know, their centralized control is not allowing me to buy or not allowing me to sell. Crypto doesn't have any off switches, right? At least, you know, at least that's how it's supposed to go. And with things like Hex, Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're 24/7. And so Richard actually posted we'll get back to the chart in just a second, but Richard posted like a little meme of, maybe we can find it too, but of like, it was talking about like traditional markets, and then it showed like a trader saying like, you know, gets 8 hours of sleep a night, great. And then it was saying like, behind the traditional market was like another ghost or something that was like holding back the person, and it was saying like, you know, the market's 24/7, 365, right? Crypto doesn't sleep. So it's pretty cool that this is kind of where things are heading towards, and that's how I felt in 2017 when I was just getting into crypto. I knew that, holy shit, this is, you know, programmable money. This is, I've always been able to like kind of note patterns and see trends and stuff, and this was definitely the trend of where we're going. So yeah, Narda's in the house. Hey, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yep, Corey. Yep, that is the real Corey. Let's actually make sure that everyone, Maddie's legit. Let's Maddie Crypto. Let's make sure he's mod status. Oh, what the fuck? David was timed out. Okay. And Wells. Oh shit. Let's see. Let's get these guys as mods so they can't get timed out. 1 second here. Okay. All right. Cool. So we're good there. that shouldn't happen again. But so anyways, Ethereum, right? Ethereum's making new all-time highs. No, $1,625. And then let's go over to Hex real quick too, because Hex, it's always when it has like a little bit of a lull that people just, they fear the world is over. And it's like, how long have you been in crypto, right? No, it's all good, man. They're mods now. They should have been mods actually earlier, and it happens. It happens. You know? It happens to the best of us. And same thing, yeah, with me. Yeah, exactly. I see it now. Corey was saying, you know, his phone was in his pocket. That's happened with me before, where, you know, every time Hexologist goes live or Discourse Syndicate goes live, I'm usually listening to it in the background or trying to be active on chat. But sometimes you can accidentally, like, you know, hit the button with your phone and time out someone. And anyways, so it happens. So no hard feelings there. All right, let's share the screen and let's look at Hex, right? Uniswap.hex.vision. And this is just looking beautiful already. Let's share. All right, so, and I'm going to bring this over to my second screen here so I can have a better look while we look at StreamYard. So yeah, and also if anyone has any you know, comments, like I said, this is kind of just like a one-off stream since I've got some spare time today, so we can go as long as. I did try looking at Joe Hexotic on if you go to hexlive.tv, Joe, member in the community, obviously, he does a whole bunch of good you know, shows with other Hexicans. But so I was looking at his schedule, and it's in UTC time now, which honestly is confusing the hell out of me. But I was looking at it, and I don't think we're streaming over anyone. And even if we are, is what it is. Yeah, use dark mode. All right, we'll use dark mode for the sake of this stream. It's not just about me, right? It's about all you guys. So let's get this in dark mode. All right, cool. All right, so without further ado, Hex is at a penny, right? 99.91% of a penny. Yeah, it's at a penny. And so anyways, let's scroll back just a smidge and just look at how the hours leading up to when penny had been. So one, like I said, I'm not a trader, not an analyst. I love Hex because you can just look at you can just like stop looking at the charts and you can just earn interest every day based on your T-shares, right? So things like Hex are just amazing because you can actually stop wasting your time and wasting your life and ruining relationships and gambling on trading, right? You can earn interest trustlessly, you can earn passive income trustlessly. But leading up to it, I mean, we're at like, yeah, it's 65% of a penny, and you know, everyone's wondering, oh, is the world going to end? Is this the end for Hex? And no, it's not. And actually, for anyone that understands patterns and understands sentiment, when everyone is bitching and crying about about the price not moving or just going sideways and whatnot, that's usually like the maximum point of opportunity, right? And like I said, everything goes in cycles, kind of like just a heartbeat, something like that. But up and down the cycles go, and right now we're just starting another round of bull market and a pumpage for Hex. So this is just Uniswap version 2. It's like the current liquidity, current pricing, things like that. Yeah, exactly. You guys need to dump your Hex so I can buy more for free. Just stake your Hex, dude. You'll earn more for free trustlessly, and just stake longer than the average, and you'll probably be doing fine. But that's just what I do. All right, so like I was saying, this is Uniswap version 2. But if we go to just version 1, for anyone that doesn't know historical charts and things like that, like I said, this channel isn't about trading or anything, but it's just to give people a consensus and like an idea. Things like Hex have been around for a long time, and so if we look at just like the daily, and we look at what Hex has done, because Hex has been around for over 420 days, right? This shit is absolutely primed to pump like a damn mofo. Sorry if the profanity gets to you, but it is what it is. All right, so yeah, I mean, we can just see, I mean, Hex was launched on, I think it was December 2nd. That was the free claim, the Bitcoin snapshot. And then it was like maybe December 1st or December 2nd was the snapshot. And then like the day after was the adoption amplifier. And so we can just see the price history itself here was just like discovery, right? You have a whole bunch of pent up demand. And this actually happens with a lot of cryptocurrencies where, when it gets on like big exchanges and whatnot, people, this is kind of where the free market pricing of buying and selling leads to the appreciation. But so we see we had a little dip to January 5th, and then that's the lowest point of Hex on its price. And then, even just from just a random measure to where we're at now, I mean, 18,650%. That's a lot. So this is like the historical chart. And for people that look at Uniswap version 2 and they wonder like, wait, Hex has been around for over a year, but this only shows like 4 or 5 months. Well, this is where you want to be going. So in the future, there might be a version 1 and version 2 merged together. But for right now, you just got to work with what you got. All right, so like I was saying, people like Hexologists, people like David Feeder, I don't know everyone that's been in Hex since day one and since like really early on, but a lot of us, like I was saying to the pleb in the chat, 1 penny was like really hard to comprehend, and so the pleb in chat earlier, that's you can sit down and shut up now, and I'm glad the mods did that. Sometimes people just need to sit down and like learn that they're not the smartest person in the room, right? The Dunning-Kruger effect. So my point was in saying that is right now we're over a penny on Uniswap version 1, and just 100x to $1, like that's really not a lot. With the actual current liquidity on USDC and on Ethereum, and with the way that Ethereum is having its major bull run and pump ups, $1 Hex in 2021 is not that big of a target in my opinion. And yeah, Hexologist, he was mentioned, yeah, that's similar sentiment, right? Things like Hex, they're designed so well in the way that the game theory works, in the way that the staking works, that even when people do emergency end stake and they didn't do what they said they were going to do, that economic energy is going to, like, half of it's going to the OA, and then half of it's getting divvied up to all of the staked Hexicans based on their t-shirts. And so when you have weak hands, or for whatever reason, maybe people overstaked, when you have people that do the end stake early, and half of that or some of that economic energy that they were going to use to just dump on the market, when that economic energy, some of it goes to the Hexicans that are holding, then that's just less sell pressure. And so things like Hex, I mean, a lot of us have seen what's been happening with the liquidity. It's a lot more rare than people used to give it credit for. and we see that within the market. So let's cover just some. Let's see what the Hexicans are doing, right? It's what this chat is about. It's what the stream is about. Try to cover all of the Hexicans, their information, because without you guys, I'd just be talking to myself, right? Okay, so David says, yeah, 1 cent is becoming new support, and mental level of worth already is in my mind. Anything under a penny is a discount. Totally, David. And that, you know, people like David, yeah, like I said, he's the definition of an OG. And people like him, you know, myself, RG3, Hexologist, especially people like John Lavelle, Hex Fabio, you know, Johnny Chaos, we understand that right now, even right now, a penny hex, you can get 100 hex for $1. That is still the price of marbles. And hex is like that diamond. And it's even a lot better than that, right? But hex is so the price that it's at right now is not the price it's going to be in a year or 2 years or 3 years, things like that. It's very similar to Bitcoin in that Bitcoin does the proof of work. Hex just does proof of stake via, as far as like the actual inflation. Bitcoin's inflation goes to the miners, and then Hex's inflation, which is a maximum of 3.69% based on the total, goes to the stakers. And the reason that this dichotomy is so much better and so much more different than things like Bitcoin is with Bitcoin, you've got a whole bunch of sell pressure, but to stake Hex, you can go anywhere from 1 day up to 5,555 days. And so when you have the average staker, the weighted average is about 5 years, then it's just making that actual sell pressure that could be realized a lot less at one given moment. And we can go to things like Hex.vision, and we can look at the expiration of stakes, and we can kind of, you know, you can have some sort of sentiment as to when the price might pump, I guess, according to the lower liquidity there. So yeah, sculpting and ZBrush. Yeah, I actually found this guy through Crypto Kool-Aid. So if anyone doesn't know Crypto Kool-Aid, he obviously he did a lot of the work on the Hex conference, the HEX Changes 2020, a 2021 conference, and this is his friend as well. And actually, when Kool-Aid, when he was doing Joker's background, the CG and all that stuff, he did it on Sculpting ZBrush's channel. So let me actually make sure he's all knotted up. 1 second. One second. So that's on YouTube. Just want to make sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, he's modded. Cool. Yeah, I want to make sure like the people that I know that are legit are mods, so they accidentally don't get banned, because that can happen. So yeah, Will's only. Just make sure you didn't miss those charts I blessed you with before I snorted out. Snorted out. Okay. Yeah, Children of the Grave. So him, or Wells Only and Matty Allin, they did a stream yesterday, actually. And I can show you that too. But great stream. I've already talked with Wells Only. He will be coming on the channel sometime. And we can talk about Bitcoin, and we can talk about the comparison of how Bitcoin and Hex are very similar. And I like Will's Only when he talks. He says like, it's just math, and it really is. And so when people like him that have been around for such a long time and that, might regret the opportunity of Bitcoin and whatnot, he's said it before. He's not going to let that second opportunity pass him by, right? So, oh yeah, and then hey, Sculpting and ZBrush, that's the URL, the link for the breakdown of Joker's background. So that was really cool. Yeah, super stoked on all-time high. The more we pump, the longer my channel is funded. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, go check him out. He's a great guy, and look forward to seeing him more. If you can do a live Saturday, I'm available. Maybe I will be. My schedule's changed so much within this past couple weeks that on the weekends it's primarily like myself and my girlfriend. But on Sunday at my normal time, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I could do it. Up until Hexo stream, I could stream. But honestly, I think the Saturday streams until my girlfriend moves to new apartments, Saturday might not be a good day for me to stream. So, but Sunday, if you happen to make it on Sunday, or we can coordinate next week, hopefully, and get some streams there too. So Sinclair Crypto says, serious question. If the Bitcoin conference is in Miami, June 4th through 5th, can we all organize a conference in Miami on the 2nd and 3rd? Yeah. I mean, we could definitely do that. Miami. We'll, we need to get a lot of people in the community, right? Like, I think people are starting to realize that Richard's not the end all be all in Hex, right? He's not the one that set up the HEX Changes 2021 conference and things like this. So Richard's great and whatnot, but there is no expectations of him for profits of the work of others. And but yeah, like the community definitely could set that up. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, we'll hash it out. Hex is too important. Hey, that's awesome, man. You're welcome on Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're definitely welcome, and I'll give you all the time up until Hexologist goes live. I'll give you all the time that you want to cover, and we can have a good talk. Let's see. Sculpting and ZBrush says, and I'll scroll back up in the chat too, but I kind of got distracted. So we should set up a stream talking about blockchain and how it can help artists. This wealth transfer that is happening could be the catalyst to funding the next set of visionaries. Hey, I totally agree. Yeah, honestly, as far as the we definitely can do that for sure. As far as crypto goes, I was really in it. Like, I was really similar like Dollar Cost, right? He's got a whole wide array of information when it comes to all the cryptos, not just Hex. That was me in 2017, and then when I held all these shitcoin altcoins that were selling me promises, I kind of just kept my head in the sand until Hex. So to answer your question, I think the true answer for this, from what I've heard sentimentally from people, is like the non-fungible tokens. I know Richard doesn't like that, but that's what I've heard some of the artists doing is using those to help fund their art. So I don't know much about those, but maybe we'll set up a stream for sure, man. We can definitely talk about at least the fundamentals, right? Let's see, 505_new Hexican. What up, Bran? Good to see you. Hey, good to see you too, man. And yeah, hey, this is another great artist, Hexagade. What up, guys? Hexagade, he's got a painting of Richard like sitting on his throne, and he's got this crown on, and just a king's crown, and it's pretty badass. Shout out to him. Shout out to all the artists. Actually, there's actually an artist that I was talking to last night. Let me see if I can pull him up real quick here. But this guy makes like pendants and whatnot. Let's get to the proper BallietBran channel. This guy makes like pendants, and of course with the crypto community being so big, the first person that he was telling me that reached out to him was like the Digibyte community. They wanted him to make like a Digibyte pendant, and then the Bitcoin pendant, right? And then now Crypto King, our buddy that has introduced High Impact Flicks and a couple other big name channels. He is the one that kind of introduced this guy to Hex. So let's stop the screen share for a second. Let's since we're on the topic of that, like artists and whatnot, this is someone I was talking to yesterday. So, and him and I, he said he was willing to come on and talk about his artwork. So I'd love to do that. So without further ado, Christian Allred, he's another artist, and we should be supporting the artist, right, in the community. So, but anyways, this is the pendant itself. Pre-order, new stock coming soon. And you're telling me, yeah, even the newer stock that's coming soon should even be like maybe a little bit more advanced on the design and color. So that's awesome. But yeah, just to shout out this guy's work, and it seems pretty cool from the little bit that I chit-chatted with him last night. This is the Bitcoin one that he does, and then that was the Digibyte one as well. So I think they're like $50 for a pendant. Not too bad, it's not the most expensive thing. So that's great. And actually, while we're at it, let's just see if Richard Hart has any new tweets, because I did sleep for a couple hours after after calling into work, right? So let's catch up on any new information. Okay. And also, these promoted tweets, little tip, I just block them. I don't like those promotions, so I just block them. Okay, so this guy, 3 Arrows Capital, Silver the Antidote has done some like analysis and whatnot, and shown that the hedge fund and institutional investors of 3 Arrows Capital do have some hex. But let's just read this. Let's just read this tweet real quick, and then Richard's comments, and then I'll get back to the chat on some sentiment. So if you want to make, let's see, 1% many times on small capacity, be a high frequency trader. If you want to make double-digit annual returns, trade structural arbitrage. If you want to make triple-digit returns, you better have an investment thesis. Hey, I think Hex has the best investment thesis, right? The point of Hex, and the really cool thing about Hex, before I get into that, is there's this thing called the velocity of money, right? The faster the velocity of money, the less value from what we've seen. And with things like Hex that slow down the velocity of money and they monetize the time value, they monetize the value of time, I guess. Things like Hex, they slow it down. They incentivize you. Hex incentivizes you to lock your Hex and treat it like a certificate of deposit, or treat it like Bitcoin gains. I mean, shit. How many people, even in Hex right now, like those of us that have been in Hex for a year, it's great, right? Like we've seen a shit ton of gains. That's awesome. But it's going to be similar in like 10 years to the Bitcoin OGs that sold like at $8, right? So many Bitcoin people sold at, $1, $8. Oh, I made 800x on Bitcoin. And then like 6 years later, it goes up to like $40,000. You don't want to be kicking yourself, or have that hindsight regret and hindsight bias where now you're just depressed because you didn't make those mad gains. So don't make the same mistakes twice. But Identity Block, what's up, David Morales? Hey, the best investment is Hex, or the best investment in Hex. Hello, fam. Yep. It's pretty slick. All right, let's go back to it. Okay, and then Richard says, my thesis is number go up. Ethereum went from $88 to $1,570 in under a year. Other things, aka Hex, did more. So that's great. Richard, one thing Richard mentioned, and for anyone that doesn't know, he did do a stream yesterday. So go catch up on that. It's like a 3-hour live stream. It's great. But let's see. Here's another tweet. Oh yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, yeah, Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon, right? He stepped down. He stepped down as CEO. So Richard says, at Jeff Bezos, if you're looking for work, direct message me. I like it, dude. Richard's a goddamn player, man. And he's hard at work doing something, all right? So Richard's great. All right, let's stop sharing the screen for just a second. Let's just see what the chat's up to. Why so serious? Nice Joker reference. Yep, Hexicade, LOL of the grave. Yep, Hornet UK1. Hey, good to see you, man. Good to see you. And yeah, Hex is still over a penny. We're looking nice and set up for that next big ass run up. Okay, yeah, let's cover some of this information, and I'll zoom in so I can read it a little bit better. I've been diving into non-fungible tokens and how they will be used for artists, developing some interesting ideas. I think they'll be huge for artists and musicians. Hey, you're not wrong. I don't disagree. I just don't know much about it. So similar with other things, try not to talk about it if I don't know a lot about it, because I don't want to be leading people astray. But anyways, I know when Richard talks about it, NFTs, he's usually referring to like CryptoKitties or things that are like a JPEG that are like being sold for like 100 Ethereum, and it's like, what the hell? Like, this is artificial scarcity, and in reality, it's got not much utility for those uses that people were using it for. But I think it could have some other uses from the little bit that I've done research on for artists, maybe, right? So sculpting and ZBrush, I agree. We also need to get artists investing in hard money. You are not wrong. You're 1,000% correct. Artists, unfortunately, are bad at saving money. I know what you mean. I think teaching an artist to stake ETH is like teaching a person to fish. Hey, you know, it's really true, man. Yeah, you know, stake ETH, stake Hex. It's the same thing. You know, teaching people to fish. And actually, last night, Dollar Cost was kind of mentioning like the Ethereum improvement proposal. It's like EIP 1559, and that's pretty much like a coin burning thing. It's something in proof of stake that Hex already has, to my knowledge. But what the proof of stake does is, yeah, it's incentivizing people to make the money more hard, right? Like if you have 3,641 days is the maximum amount of shares that you can get, and then 5,555 days from then it's just, when you're locking up the Hex, you're burning it and you're replacing it for shares, and you're just making Hex more rare, more hard, you know, slowing down that velocity of money that we were talking about. I think it's great. All right, Walter Aparicio. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Staker app needs to speed up the address creating. I know it sounds pushy, but I'd rather have that ASAP, even if I don't get a referral. Walter, are you? Oh, okay, yeah. I think they limited it maybe to like, there might be like a 1 or 2 week wait, something like that. So yeah, hopefully you get your address soon. And the other thing too that Steph has mentioned on this, guys and gals, is the actual Ethereum gas is not cheap right now, right? We all know that that's a problem, or we all know that that's a side effect, I should say, of bull markets and of the supply and demand of Ethereum. So one thing Steph has mentioned is like right now, Staker app, I mean, you know, there's fees and whatnot on top of the gas for the convenience of doing it all in one application. Right now, it's more leaning towards like the people that it would be great for right now are a little bit bigger buyers, in my opinion, from what Steph has mentioned. Because you know, it's probably not the best experience if you have like $100 and then, you know, you buy $100 of USDC or ETH, and then by the time you actually stake it, it's like $50. Like that might not be the best experience. So if you have a bigger principal that you're starting out with, say like 1,000, 10,000, something like that, it might be more incentivized for those people. But yeah, Staker app's great, and you can go to allmylinks.com/BallietBran, or you can scan that URL code in the top right to learn more. Right? Wills only. It's pretty slick. Yeah, Staker app's badass. The best investment in Hex. Hello, fam. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you, David. Yeah, Identity Block. Hey, good to see you, man, too. Identity is smart as fuck, man. He's got a lot of knowledge. Enjoying the midweek pump. Direct message. DM. All right. NFT has so many more use cases than just the JPEG/GIF thing. Yep. It's all about the unique, unlockable content. I'm just scratching the surface. We'll share any findings with my fellow Hexicans. Yeah, you know, hey, maybe you want to come on sometime and we can get away from the degeneracy, right, of the JPEG and of the GIF, because I think that's what Richard is most not happy about is just people, like he's mentioned it with just things, right, that are like artificial scarcity, and humans have like this feature in our brain that we want to complete sets and things like this, and even if things are like artificially scarce, doesn't necessarily mean that it's valuable, right? So I'd love to have you on, I guess, if you want, or you know, maybe we can chat about it off stream, and maybe you can educate me a little bit more on your findings. So that'd be cool. Children of the Grave. Anyone else notice the change of highlights feed on Staker app? Some of the features that were there before are no longer there. I didn't notice that. I actually don't even go on Staker app very much. I know a lot of people are checking it like every 24/7, but honestly, yeah, that's the cool thing about Hex is, especially if you're staked, If you have shorter stakes, you might be more prone to like checking it more often. But anyways, I haven't noticed that. That's interesting though. I know Steph has mentioned with the gas fees and even his opinions on the liquidity is that he feels like the rollout might be a little bit slower than initially planned. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, man, I'd love to chat about it one of these days. I'll holler. Hey, cool. Yeah, you can just go to allmylinks.com/BallietBran. I think I need to add t.me/BallietBran. But yeah, message me on any platform, and I should hopefully get that push notification. All right, so let's actually go to Hex.com. Let's cover just a little bit of the Hex.com website for anyone that might be watching that's new. We've got 33 people on, and just a brief overview, right? All right, so just Hex.com. This is the website right here. All right, so first thing we see, a little intro video, but it says Hex stakes average 40% interest a year before US dollar appreciation, which further multiplies profit. So yeah, what that's referring to there. So the annual percentage yield for the average APY for like the 5-year stakes, which is the weighted average, is about 40% APY. So that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, so what it says next is, and let me actually zoom into because this is just really small on my screen. Hex is the first blockchain certificate of deposit. Hex virtually lends value from stakers to non-stakers as staking reduces supply, causing positive price pressure on unstaked coins. I love that, the triple P. All right, and let's do this real quick. Hex's US dollar price went up 352x, or 352 times, in 361 days. Hex is more secure, faster, cheaper, better for the environment, has more features, and addresses a larger market than Bitcoin. That's a lot. That's a lot of features. So many people, they say, well, what's the value? Why would people buy this? Those are all the reasons why people would buy this. And also, Hex was the top appreciating asset. It's the highest appreciating asset of 2020. So just drop the mic on that. So far, Hex's price went up 146 times in Bitcoin. Exactly. Richard's mentioned it before, and I've still got a lot of clipping to do on old Richard videos. But he's mentioned that when it comes to like maximalism and tribalism and things like this, especially like the Bitcoiners, they've kept their head in the sand for so long that things like Ethereum have been out adopting and outperforming things like Bitcoin, right? The technology on Ethereum is actually solving the Bitcoin scaling problem as far as wrapping the Bitcoin code into Ethereum. So it's just pretty cool to see that things like Ethereum, things like Hex are outperforming, things like Bitcoin. So when people get into crypto, like the rising tide raises all ships. Totally agree with that. People that get into Bitcoin, great. But then there's this unit bias where, according to Bitcoin's code with the miner consensus, it can only be 21 million, and right now it's like $36,000 or something like that for one Bitcoin. So like on average, right? The last time I checked, it was 36,000. So to your average Joe or Jane or John Doe, whoever, say if they have like $1,000 and they're just maybe they're on Coinbase or they're on something, right? If they see Bitcoin, they can get 0.0006 or they can get 0.00003 of a Bitcoin for $1,000. Oh, well, there's this thing called unit bias, and Hex solves that, right? So like I mentioned, you can get right now 100 Hex for $1. That's as far as the psychology of humans, that sounds a little bit better than 0.0000 of something. And just the technology in Hex and Ethereum is the lead. It's the leader. All right, let's just let's cover just a little bit more of the Hex website for the noobs, right? And even for the non-noobs, it's just good information to have, right? Good information to cover again. Hex is like a notepad showing everyone's Hex balance and requiring their passwords to spend. Shareholders profit from the 3.69 annual inflation, early and late end stake penalties. Exactly. It's not just that 3.69% inflation that you get rewarded on based on shares. It's also people ending early. It's also people that didn't end their stakes. Every week after their said end date, their Hex will bleed out 1%. So after 100 weeks, it's down to nothing. You mint shares by time locking, Hex staking, with bonuses of 20%, per year, up to 3 times longer, and 1.1x for larger. Larger pays better, or I mean bigger pays better. The Hex needed to create a share price goes up every day or two, simulating compounding interest. Hex is easy. So that's just the main part of the website. You can scroll down, or you can click Show Me. I've actually never clicked Show Me, but I guess it just goes there. All right. So, and then one other thing real quick. So Richard's mentioned this, right? For the Bitcoiners that know so much about Bitcoin. Well, if they're shit talking Hex and just calling it a scam, then maybe you can educate them a little bit more to those that actually aren't so ignorant, and you can understand this. So this is something that is really undervalued and that Hexicans need to be covering more. Understanding Bitcoin helps you understand Hex. Hex is like Bitcoin with a proof of work change. Bitcoin and Hex are analogous. Bitcoin and Hex are peer-to-peer networks that store and transmit value. In Bitcoin, miners buying hardware and electricity from companies, and Hex, miners buying Hex from other Hex holders, then use time to mine. Hex is proof of weight instead of proof of work. I like that. I really like that. I've never heard of that, proof of weight. That's cool. All right, we'll cover a little bit more of this, and then, like I said, we'll get back into the chat. But while I see it, good to see you, Cookie Boys. Crypto Gains Club Hex, good to see you. That says, you're the man, Bran. Hey, thank you. That was always the nickname, right? People are like, how'd you come up with BallietBran? It's like, yeah, it's just the first and last name. So the Brian Jones and Steve Johnson, those are just other accounts that I had before getting into BallietBran, right? All right, Identity Block, yep. He's helping out the Hexicans. And hey, Benny Bilzerian, yep. Good to see you, Benny. Hey, thanks, Sculpting a ZBrush for coming in for a little bit. We'll chit chat a little bit more off stream, man. Look forward to it. Hey, that's totally fine. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it's everyone's opinion. No one banned this person just for like having their opinion, please. So Limon Ortega says, I don't think Hex is hitting $1 this bull run. That's fine. You don't have to have that opinion. That's just like, like they say, like everyone's got an opinion. Just I don't know. That's your opinion. That's great. I think it'll go to $1 at least. That's just mine. And I'll back up that information. I'll back up that opinion a little bit later. All right. So inflation incentivizes behavior, right? Bitcoin inflation pays miners. Hex inflation pays stakers. This is exactly what I was talking about. Okay. So, for people like Limon Ortega, the reason why I think $1 is not very much this year and why it can go much, much higher is just look at what Bitcoin did. I mean, down here, you can kind of see this is the actual, I believe this is just this is the hash rate difficulty. And we can see all the way in, January 2010, the actual difficulty adjustment. The same thing works in Hex with the actual T-share, right? The T-share gets more and more expensive because the actual Hex that it costs per T-share never goes down. That only goes up. And so when you have these dynamics where the actual inflation, including even in some of my own stakes, it's just been getting restaked. And so when you don't have a whole bunch of sell pressure from people that don't need to sell, then you got more of a level to start from. All right, let's just cover a few more minutes of this, and then we'll get back to some other goodies, right? Incentives are divided up. Miners mint new Bitcoin by their percentage of total hash rate. That's exactly what this chart is down here. Hex stakers mint new Hex by their percentage of total shares. Exactly. And that's why Hex is not just about like, you know, the unit spot price of Hex is great, but it really is about the shares when you understand that that's what gets you your daily payout. And the more shares you have, you know, you'll earn more shares for the longer you stake, up to 3 times more shares. So that T-share price of $130 or whatever the price is now, you can actually divide that by 3 if you just lock it up for 10 years. And that might seem like crazy to people, like, oh my God, you're going to lock this up for 10 years? Yeah, like it's similar to Bitcoin. It's more similar to Bitcoin, but it's also similar to the traditional certificate of deposit. So those people do 10-year jumbo CDs all the time. All right, keeping score. Bitcoin mining equals Hex staking. Your hash rate equals your shares. Difficulty equals total shares. Buying more miners equals share price increases. I love that too. Block reward equals inflation plus penalties. All right, and then we'll just cover another minute. So network protection in Bitcoin, total hash rate is value invested in the protocol. It protects against 51% attacks. True. In Hex, in Hex, share market cap is value invested in the protocol. It protects the Hex price against selling. And also, bear with me because sometimes reading on stream is just not the easiest. Hex stake times share price equals Hex share market cap. That's pretty cool. Hex share market cap. Hex currently uses Ethereum for its 51% attack protection. That's great. And it's so cool that, yeah, people wonder like, oh, is Hex, you know, people are so binary, like, oh, is Hex proof of work or is it proof of stake? No, it's like the first hybrid where it uses proof of work for the transactions and it uses proof of stake for the inflation, right? The inflation rewards. So yeah, this is something that's pretty cool too. So Hex's share price used to be 56 cents per T-share, right? And went up to $168.89 so far this year. And yeah, it ended up going to like almost $300 too. So anyways, this is I'm not going to go over all of this because that would be a super arduous process, but one of these days we will go through all of that info. All right, so let's get back to the chat real quick. And also want to pull up the chart and Hex on the other screen. So yeah, Hex has breached that 1 penny again, and you can see that right about there. Whoops, right about there. So you know we're just consolidating and we're getting primed for that other takeoff, right? Like this seems like it would be its absolute floor because you got like, come on. Let's choose maybe a better color. You know, you got like something like this, this, and this. You know, these are all kind of like in traditional like analysis and whatnot, like support. And so if it does break below this, then you're like, holy fuck, when are we going to go back above it? But we haven't seen that for a long time. So that's great. All right, let's get back to the chat. Walter, Paricio, I don't know why it's so hard to say your last name. Hex drops for a few weeks, then overnight makes up losses. That's crazy good, LOL. And that's the other thing too. Yeah, I mean, same thing with Bitcoin, right? When Bitcoin Identity Block and I were talking about this, that I was thinking, Richard Hart thought the same thing, I believe too, that around like 6,600 or something like that was its bottom, and then it just did like an elevator trapdoor down to like 3,000 something. But as far as Hex and as far as cryptocurrency markets go, you can think that the world is ending, you know, from like here. Come on, measure that. Okay, still in the drawing tool. 1 second here. Okay, well, anyways, the measure tool is not working right this second, but you can think the world is ending from 2 cents, you know, down to like 65% of a penny. But in reality, that was just where a lot of the people were buying and adding up those cheap T shares. So that's amazing. Very nice support. Hex is here to stay. And that's the other thing too that Whales Only talks about is, I mean, just look at the first year of Bitcoin. You know, there wasn't places to trade it, things like this. Like Hex has all of the things that Bitcoin had plus more, and it's just got a lot of cool stuff. So also, yeah, we got a lot of Hex streamers, right? I see one just went live too, the Crypto Spar booth. So cheers to them for doing all the work that they do. Yep. Is like water and consolidates. Okay. Buy the dip. Yep, exactly. Crypto Gains Club Hex says stake that shit. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, like please just like now is the time to, I guess, to, you know, redirect my focus or to ask any questions that I can answer. But yeah, Limon says, yep, we already covered that. Oh yeah, identity. I didn't get to cover this. So he says, thanks, Bran. I'm just lucky that I'm surrounded by smart Hexicans that teach me so much. Exactly. Me too. You know, that's part of like ego, right? And just learning is understanding when, you know, you're not the smartest person in the room. And people like Richard, right? So many people wonder, like, Richard, how'd you get all this information and your wealth of knowledge and all these things? And he's mentioned, you know, that he spent a lot of his years not only like reading and learning, but sitting down, shutting up, and listening. Right? We can learn from everyone, no matter what their age or status or anything like that. We can always learn things from people. So yeah, Whales Only, no ego here. Yeah, dude, I really want to have you on stream sometime, man. You're a cool cat, man, to say the least. A lot of us Hexicans, you can just like, you know, you listen to him for like 1 or 2 minutes and you're like, damn, this guy knows what's up. You know, similar to Cream. I know Cream was in that chat too last night with Matty Allen and Whales Only. And I was telling him, like, dude, you guys need to, you know, Cream and Whales Only, shit, we'll have a 24-hour stream with just those guys, and we'll, you know, if you need to host it, I'll host it. Hex.doctor, how did you find Richard Hart? So how I found Richard Hart, I've been in crypto since about March 2017 is when I bought my first Litecoin, but been in crypto since 2017. Richard was like the most controversial person that I'd seen on like all the message boards, right? Like on Reddit. Reddit led me to crypto because I was in precious metals before that, and the precious metals community somehow mentioned like Bitcoin and Litecoin, and so that kind of got me into like digital silver, digital gold. And so long story short, I found Richard through crypto Twitter, because crypto Twitter is like a subsection of Twitter where a lot of the communities go and, you know, talk and communicate. And so everyone was always shit talking Richard, even when he was a Bitcoin maxi, right? And so anyways, listen to his YouTube videos. Like the first ones back then were the self-help, and, you know, was Richard talking about, you know, how to frame your politics to not just be left versus right, but more like a sandwich where, like, oh, instead of saying I'm just red or blue, like, well, what's your support on abortion or immigration or this or that? You know, instead of being just so binary, left or right, or yes or no, you know, have a little bit more nuance. So those were some of the first Richard Hart videos that I watched. And then, you know, he was really into you know, pretty much a Bitcoin maximalist since like 2017, the top. And so been following Richard since 2017. I found him out through crypto Twitter. And also, like, my parents are legit and have raised good kids, right? I've always felt the being able to like sense people when they're bullshitting you, and then being able to sense people when they're like being authentic. And Richard was always that authentic person. You know, even if in the past like he's been wrong, he's updated his worldview. And I think people like you know, Richard, you know, I've got similar aspirations where it's like, you know, we're constantly trying to learn, and similar to Whales Only, we're all trying to learn from each other. Exactly. Even Richard mentions, like, you know, he's the one that was like the project manager, right, for creating Hex. He wasn't the actual one writing all the code, even though he found some bugs. But he mentions, like, yeah, he learns stuff about Hex even from the community. So stuff like that is really cool, and I think it's awesome that let that stuff go unspoken and unnoticed. So Limon says the Hex community needs to focus on being pro Ethereum. Hey, I'm totally down with that. Pro Ethereum ecosystem and not Hex maxis. Okay, sure. Richard agrees and even mentioned that he chills ETH to onboard people into Hex. Hey, yeah, being a maximalist of anything, right? Being an extremist of anything, in my opinion, is not good. And especially when we talk about, I downloaded Richard's 6-hour stream with Roger Ver and have cut up a little bit of those, and some of it Richard's talking like, yeah, the honey versus vinegar and things like this. So when we're trying to onboard people, especially from other crypto communities, if you're shit talking someone's bag that they're holding, they're less likely to give you any attention or any mind. So just be aware, like, what are you trying to do? Convince someone or make them feel really bad that what they're holding is not good, or that it's inferior to what Hex is. Like, there's just a way of psychology and of going about presenting information. And I completely agree. Maximalism, like I said, of anything is not good. And like I mentioned earlier, the Bitcoin maximalists, they kept their heads, in the sand while Ethereum just kept developing away. And now Ethereum has more, transaction fees and miner fees than Bitcoin on a daily basis. And in my opinion, I think we'll see a flipping this cycle of, I think Bitcoin will be flipped by market cap from Ethereum. Ethereum will flip Bitcoin's market cap, and then we could, once that paradigm shatters some of those people's realities, I think we could see something similar. Richard mentions that you got Bitcoin, then you got Ethereum, then you got Hex, and Bitcoin pumps first, and then Ethereum, and then Hex kind of sometimes is the way it works. So if we were to have a flippening, who knows when it'll happen? All we know is just that it could happen, right? We're not saying that it will or won't, but that it could. So if anything's going to flip Bitcoin, it's going to be probably Ethereum first, and then who knows? Could be Hex too. So at least that's the way it's designed. Like in the hippie song, "Son of a Preacher." Never actually heard that song. I'll have to take your word for it and check it out after stream. What the F? Awesome necklace. Yep. Shapeways.com just is where I got that. Yeah, just go to shapeways.com and in the search tab, just type in Hex logo. There's another one I could grab it, but I'm not going to because I'm sitting cross-legged. But I've got the other Hex pendant that I got, which was it's like this, but it's not filled in, right? There's little hollow lines, but it's tiny, and I paid way too much for it in hindsight until I got this one. So glad you like it. I like it too. Yeah, yep, wheels only. The fact is, Ethereum is playing catch up to Hex. Hey, that's totally true. I mean, you look at Ethereum going from a proof of work mining consensus to a proof of stake consensus, and so many people. I mean, I want Ethereum 2.0 to come out, tomorrow. I want the fees to drop tomorrow, things like that. But that also takes time. And Richard already spent all that time developing, right? The delay. All that time being delayed was getting the stuff right and was making it secure. So I'm happy that, Hex already has the things that Ethereum is trying to do. So Wills only says, it already is per the returns. This is what needs to be comprehended, Limon Ortega. Good opinion. Pie Mining with Juzman says, it's so cool that these coin websites are talking about Hex today. Hey, throw a link in the chat. I'll check it out. Because I just woke up an hour ago. So it leads all. Is it gold? I'll search it up on TJX. Wills only says, there is a very good reason Hex has the community that it has versus a bunch of furus shilling. It's very clear. It's a very clear distinction, in my opinion. I agree. And, I also agree with the person's comment about maximalism and toxicity. Sometimes it's hard. I bet every person of their bag feels this way, where you just crap talk everything else because, not only are you holding a bag of it, but you think it's so much better than everything. yeah, in reality, Ethereum is trying to catch up to Hex in technology and with some of the proposals. And I agree. It's hard. It is hard. It totally is. All right, let's see. Let me see if I can pull up real quick my my staking wallet, and let's see if we can see what's going on. See what's going on there. 1 second. Let's not do the hardware wallet. Let's do the public wallet. Okie dokie. All right, we're gonna go in StreamYard. We'll share the screen real quick. Let's do this. All right, share screen, and we're just gonna go to go.hex.com, which I believe is this link. Okay, cool. All right, so go.hex.com. Please unlock to use MetaMask. I thought I already did this. Maybe just I'll refresh. Okay, cool. All right, so this is just go.hex.com, right? This is where we can find out some stats and some information. So what's the current day? Day 429. So day 429 will go from 429 to 430 at, I think this is like UTC time, or like when Bitcoin has its next day, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, it'll go from day 429 to day 430 in 4 hours, 46 minutes, and 16 seconds. All right, so you can see the total supply. You can see, oh yeah, this is on my my staked wallet here. And then this is the T-share that we covered as well. So yeah, you know, on the website, it covers that it went from 56 cents was the low it was saying. And then its high was, you know, almost $300 for a T-share. So it's 600x. That's amazing. All right, daily payout per T-share. So yeah, you know, people wonder like, what's this T-share nonsense? Why is it so important? I thought it was just Hex that was important. Well, the T-share is what allows you to earn the interest, right? It's similar to Bitcoin. They're miners, and the way that the actual T-share algorithm keeps adjusting that it costs more Hex per T-share, it's almost like the stake that you do today, that you lock in that T-share, it's almost like that stake throughout its whole maturation is just appreciating in hardware as the stake length and as the adjustment increases. So yesterday, if you had one T-share, you would get 5.843 Hex. That's how it works. And as far as the average and the APY and things like that, 37.58. And so, you know, this number is variable. You know, some people think like just because it's this way today that it's going to be that way in 10 years, and that's just stupid phallical thinking. It's not true. I mean, even scroll all the way down, right? Because we've got price history. I mean, you can see the days where Hex was, you know, 2.6 Hex per T-share, and you know, 17% APY, or even on day one where it's just single digit, and you know, the lowest you can have at 100% stake rate is a 3.69. So that's that information. So this is just the general screen. Like I said, then you can go to stake. So on this wallet, you can filter. So the earliest, and like I said, in hindsight, even for this public address, I probably would have just made these stakes bigger, but they're also a little bit longer too. So hopefully all the fees and staking gas will be less than. But the earliest one on this wallet ends in June 21st, 22nd, or 2022, I mean. And you can see the start date, December 13th, 2020. So pretty much what you have is your principal. That's the principal. The interest, and then it'll actually tell you what the US dollar is worth today. So that's kind of cool. So at the end of the day, it really is all about the shares, right? Because this number can never go down. And if you can stake for 1 day, or you can stake all the way for 5,555 days, which would end April 21st, 2036. So the way that it works is similar to a CD, certificate of deposit, where you know the longer you lock up, you're going to be rewarded for more interest. So I've done this before, but I'll do it again since we're here. So say 16,791. That'll get you one T-share. So if you just do it for 1 day, the actual interest you're earning is not very much, right? because longer pays better. Longer will always pay better. So if we just take, 1 T-share, we can change this to 3 T-shares by just adjusting the length of time. So 3641 is the maximum length of time for the T-share. And then if you take the difference between 3,641 minus 5,555, then you can actually keep the T-share rate for like 1,900 days and still have that max T-share rate. So hope that helps. Yeah, if you stake for until January 24th, 2031, you'd be having 3 T-shares as opposed to 1 T-share if you were to just do it for a day. So we'll go back to StreamYard and just see what the chat is saying. There will be another good coin in the future for sure. Yeah, and that's the other thing too is, hey, if you're extremist or maximalist on everything, then sometimes you can miss out on an opportunity, and that's what Richard's mentioned happened with Bitcoin, right? He kind of kept his maximalism on Bitcoin until the Ethereum was doing well, and then realized, oh, let's update the worldview and see what this Ethereum thing is doing instead of crap talking it the whole time. All right, so and the other thing too is a lot of the things Richard mentioned about Ethereum were still relevant. So if Hex goes to $1 this run, I will. Oh my God, dude, what the hell? I will end stake one of my 5,555ers to tip everyone in the community. Hey, do whatever you want to do. I'm not gonna tell you what to do and what not to do. I'm sorry, I can't find the website now, but the test calling and its name, and otherwise I would have to scroll back in Twitter. Okay. Yeah, exactly. People think that Richard is ski cat, and Richard's denied it multiple times. And one thing that he mentioned in yesterday's stream is when you have something that is such a store of value and that does slow down the velocity of money like Hex does. Back in the day when I was first watching Hexo and things like that, or just getting into the Telegram, yeah, you would see people tipping like 1,000 Hex, 10,000 Hex, things like this. I think like the biggest tip in the Hex Telegram is like 200,000, right? So maybe at the time it was $20, $25, but now, it's thousands of dollars, things like that. So one thing Richard mentioned was, as far as giving away things, is that he wouldn't like to give something away, say you do a giveaway tomorrow, it's $1,000 at tomorrow's price, and then a year later it's 100,000. Things like that is where you can have some regret, I guess. But let's see here. Hex oligarchs, welcome. Yep. Lots of oligarchs in here. Young Russian oligarchs like to buy their girlfriends staking ladders. Could everyone please tell Staker app to make a Bling Diamond Pro version? Yeah. You can always DM Steph and chit chat with him too. Oh, okay. Says, I already sent an email like twice, like half a year ago, and now nothing changes. Well, yeah, Ski Cat giving 1 million Hex like it's nothing. Yeah. I've had some people think that I'm Ski Cat. It's like, no. Like for the 1,000th time, no. But I'll take the conspiracy, just to get more attention, I guess. But definitely not Ski Cat. Whoever Ski Cat is, they're very generous. And actually, I did have like 20,000 bits that was donated. This is kind of weird. Not on Ski Cat's end, but on Twitch's end. So I had 20,000 bits that were donated on mine and Kareem's solo stream, where my connection dropped out for like 10 minutes and I got back on. And now I go into Twitch and I'm trying to like donate Johnny some bits, and I'm trying to donate Hexologist some bits, and I don't see the 20,000. So I need to call Twitch and hopefully get on that and get those bits back, because I know that Ski Cat clicked the donate button, and I want to make sure I can tip some of the Hexicans they're always working hard. So yeah, that is true, Walter. You're right. Wills only says, yeah, people got to put their wallets away when Ski Cat's about. Exactly, man. Exactly. Totally. Yeah, David says, Walter, yeah, it's crazy. I took my ski cat 1 mil and 5555 did. That is my family fortune now, LOL. Hey, dude, David, I think that's awesome, man. Obviously, if anyone hasn't seen David Feeder, or, doesn't watch his channel, what are you doing? You should be subscribed to him. He's on YouTube, Twitch, and that's probably, where I'd follow him is YouTube, Twitch, and then Twitter as well. But yeah, so David's got a badass chest tattoo on the right side or left side. And anyway, Ski Cat said that if he streamed it live, that he would donate a million hex. So that was really cool for Ski Cat to do. And it was cool to see you, David, stake that for Quattro Cinco, man. That's badass. Shout out to Cookie Boys. Hey, good to see you, dude. Yeah, Cookie Boys, my friend, my naga. Shout out to Ski Cat for helping so many people in the community. Exactly. Wills only. Wow, David Feeder. Congrats, bro. Amazing. Hey, I agree. Good stuff, David Feeder. So happy for your fam. Yeah, David, it's cool, man. I mentioned, and you probably know the same thing too, but when Hex first came out, like the first couple of weeks where you're getting like a million hex per Ethereum, and Ethereum's like $80 or $100, it's like cool, you got so many millions of hex, and you're like, well, what the hell do I do with this thing? So it's like, all right, let's just test the system. And long story short, it's cool. I'm grateful to my my first month in Hex, throwing out some really large and long stakes. Because now I look at those and I look at the shares, and it's like, man, to think that I've got the amount of T-shares going for 5,555 days, that's going to be retirement alone. So that's awesome. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, let's cover this. Yeah, so HexDex, good to see you. I think Richard Hart is wrong about giving some away. Everybody that I gave some has got real interested and started buying. Yeah, and one thing Richard mentioned too is like, he's like, maybe I'm just too cheap to give it away. Like, and not saying that he's cheap, but just saying that, yeah, maybe that is the way of spreading adoption. And I've done it myself. I mean, heck, for the girlfriend, for brothers, for the parents, and even for some of my brothers' friends, I've set up stakes for their kids and whatnot. So it's cool to be able to give that opportunity to people that might not have ever invested. So even if you didn't invest, friend, then I got your stake for you. You're good. Yeah, my pleasure and pain, LOLs. And yeah, HexDex, I don't think you're wrong. I think here's the thing that I think. If you do, I guess it depends on like, as far as Hex, like if you're doing like a giveaway, then that's kind of more like to get attention and marketing to your channel. And if you're giving a whole bunch away, and someone just market sells, is what it is. People can still do what they want. But if you do a giveaway and then say it goes to someone that stakes it for like a Quattro Cinco, then they just benefited the system and themselves too. So. Okay. Yep, Tablarus, good to see you. Yeah, Tablarus, guys. Yeah, go check out Tablarus. He's got a website and does like abstract painting and abstract art. I've actually got a photo somewhere right there in my room of his painting. So good job, man. It looks really good. Appreciate it. Yeah, David Feeder. Me too. Gotta keep getting it every day, every paycheck. Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is a lot of Hexicans, even myself included, I'm grateful for doing a lot of buying towards the beginning with the economic energy that I had, and now it's like, man, when Hex is below a penny, and even right now, it's like, dude, this, in my opinion, is time to be loading up if you have extra economic energy. So yeah, huge 30% pump the last 48 hours, exactly. And like I said, Hexo mentioned it, where like, some of the people in the chat, they're just bitching, or his friends are, complaining about when's it gonna go up? When's it gonna go up? Like he knows when it's gonna go up, or like we know. But what we do know is when a lot of people's consensus is that, like, they're just waiting for it to go up, and they're trying to sell or things like that, then that's usually like, a good time to start averaging in. because you just look at like the psychology, like someone that I used to do trading back in the day, but someone that was talking about like candlesticks, like this is just the hex chart, right? Each one of these candles, green or red, is one day. But someone that I used to listen to was talking about that each candlestick, like, and the charts themselves, they are like emotions. And you've got the psychology of a market cycle, I guess, the Wall Street like cheat sheet, where it shows people's emotions, how when they go down they get really depressed, right, on the candlesticks, like right here, like around here, like 67% of a penny, people are getting really depressed, and is it going to go back down to 10% of a penny, and all this stupid FUD. And then that was the maximum point of at least recently was like the maximum point of opportunity. Actually, it was this candle here. But then you can just see that smart people were buying at that time, and smart money was buying at that time. So what you have is a lot of cycles and ratcheting upwards. And this is just the start. Like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, when we start getting into like 1 penny is an absolute floor, which I think we're going to be getting into really soon. And then you've got 3 cents, 10 cents. There's psychological numbers that people have where it's like, holy shit, Hex just hit 10 cents, And then it's like, all right, well, it's just a 10x from 10 cents to $1. And just the way that Hex is designed is like nothing else. And it's really designed to be, global reserve currency, and to be the most, it's like a black hole for money, and like financial energy and capital. It's, people like Mark Cuban are already in Hex. Yep, identity block. Yep, what's up, Talbaruz? Good to see you. Hey, ID block. 4 cents in 2 weeks. Dreams. Hey, it's possible. Your staker QR code looks dope. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, and for anyone that doesn't know, I know. Let's see, they were covering it a little bit last night, but yeah, Motley, he's had one scheduled, and then Crypto Coffee did a video yesterday. But I can show you the URL real quick here. It's just type in like QR code monkey in Google. Let me just share the screen, just for anyone that's using staker.app. It's important to share your ref link, right? That's what helps spread adoption. And especially if you're helping onboard someone, you should be rewarded for that time, right? So even if it's $4, $5, whatever the fee is, that can add up over a while. So let's just share the screen real quick. So yeah, just QR code monkey on Google. It's the first website. 1 second. That actually, I've got a setting where every time I click a link, it opens it up in a new tab. So let me paste the URL here. And while I'm at it, might as well paste it in the chats. Okay, so yeah, that's the URL that I created. The QR code I think it's actually Coffee or Motley themselves that told me about it. But so yeah, so this is just a QR code generator. You can change the quality. It's a high quality. I would recommend that. And then the set colors, you can do color gradients, and then you can kind of this one changes this one, you can do a background color and things like that. But this is where I created my my referral code, and you should come here to create yours as well. So while I'm on the topic, actually, there's a whole bunch of Hex telegrams, right? There's just t.me/Hex Crypto, there's Hex Pro, there's Hex Cross Promotions, all of these things, right? There's also a Hex Designs, and they in the Designs telegram, they've got the Hex color gradient, because you can see this, just the black is all zeros, but then you've got a whole gradient, right? So you can choose Hex colors and make it all pretty and whatnot by going there. They've already got the gradients matched down. And then you can add a logo. So I know Nardo, he's actually got kind of a unique one where it's just like his profile picture. I think that's pretty cool because it distinguishes your that it's your code, right? And then mine's just a staker, like just a staker logo right in the middle. So that's where I did the QR code. We'll stop covering that for a second. Yep, Benny Bilzerian. Let's see. Good positive spin on it. What did Talbot say? People trying to make swing trades on DeFi are disincentivized by fees. Hey, that's totally true. In some ways, that's a good thing. Yeah, hey, that's totally true. I mean, yeah, it's very true. Good way of putting it when it comes to Hex and it being a black hole. Yeah, I think Richard was like the first one that mentioned it, but yeah, it is. It totally is. And same thing, like as far as that black hole for like financial capital, it's also like that for like its Streisand effect, right? You know, you got so many plebs that, you know, CoinMarketCap and CZ and all these people that are colluding to, not colluding, but they're all collectively like gatekeeping Hex, right? And it's like that pot, the boiling pot with like a lid over it, right? Let me stop sharing. The more that you push it down and like make more pressure, the more that when that lid goes off, it just explodes the damn moon, you know? So that's kind of what's happening there. And yeah, you know, people like a year ago, and when Hex was first coming out, people like Tone Bays and a lot of these people were slandering Hex and things like that for Hex and for Richard Hart. And, you know, a year later when the people that followed Tone Bays to the slaughterhouse, when they see that, oh, this Hex thing is still around, like it's not actually a scam, like maybe I should go to Hex.com and actually read it. So it's cool when people actually do their own research like they claim. So many people just blindly, you know, they put on their blinders and they just blindly follow to the slaughterhouse. Hey Benny, saw a shitcoin today that I thought I might make a little trade on just to see if I can make $100. Then the fees blocked the math and I didn't bother. Hey, exactly. Hey, I like this. Hex is the lady in the red dress. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Yep, lady in the red dress. All right, so yeah, I mean that's probably all we're covering right now. We're in an hour and 33 minutes into it, and just want to say, I mean, hey, Ethereum new all-time highs. Hex is at a penny right now, and we're doing really good. It's just February 3rd, y'all. Like, just getting started. So many people, their time horizons are so short, and you know you've got biases and things like this too. But a lot of us a year ago, when it was January and when it was February 2020, thought that 1 penny Hex was going to happen years later, right? And oh my God, we saw two pennies in 1 year, and yeah, like Will's only said, like it's almost so high that it is kind of hard for people, right, to think. But I mean, shit, in the future, you know, once you have those psychological numbers, right? So a penny is one of them. Oh, you can get 100 Hex per dollar. Great. Well, then you got 10 cents. Oh, okay, cool. So you can get 10 Hex per dollar. Great. You know, the more things ratchet up, like people like expensive things, like diamonds, right? Diamonds are expensive as hell, and people love that. So anyways, with Hex, like penny, dude, in like 10 years from now, we could see like tens of thousands of dollars Hex. And, you know, where are you going to be in 10 years? Or, you know, what are you going to do if the price reaches that level? So, too short. Yeah, think in Hex terms. Exactly. I mean, for anyone that isn't aware, before Ethereum had its like gas adjustment, they had some sort of adjustment in their gas feature that Richard had to adjust as well. But Hex was originally designed to be locked up for 50 years. And can you just imagine, like, oh my God, like 15.2 years right now is the longest you can stake. But can you imagine if it, you know, would have been 50? So the design of it, it's you know, just use it how it's intended to, right? If your stakes are really small, then maybe you should be going a lot longer, so you're not screwing yourself in the gas computation fees. In my opinion, there is a limit for myself personally that I'm doing on new stakes, and you know, instead of doing smaller stakes, a bunch of smaller stakes, you know, when some of those old OG stakes that were earlier are coming out, consolidating those into bigger stakes. I've learned, right? Updated the worldview. Benny Bilzerian, epic stream last night, guys. 8 hours with what? I know it was like 3 or 4 hours or something like that. Maddie and Wells Only did a great job. So shout out to Wells Only, man. You're OG. I look forward to sometime in the future doing a stream with you, man. We'll make it happen soon. Benny Bilzerian, poor Vince is going to be timestamping it. I told him I would help. Hey, that's awesome, Benny. Thank you for your contribution, man, and thank you for all the streams that you've been joining too. It's always cool to see, people like Benny Blanco, Benny Bilzerian. I've seen him in chat for such a long time, and same thing with El Hexidente, right? And now they go from, and it was actually, thanks Motley for like incentivizing that, but it's just cool to see like people that are familiar in the chat coming on to streams as well, because we're a really big community and a lot bigger than people give, a lot bigger than the haters give it credit for, right? Walter, I was so happy when we reached, 0.00030 zeros and then an 8. LOL. And now we a penny. It's crazy, man. Hey, that's cool, Walter. I didn't know you've been in for such a long time too. So that's cool to see you on the channel. Thanks for following, and yeah, if you ever want to chit chat outside of the streams, I'd love to hear more. Or if you ever want to come on and share your information, you don't have to be on camera. You can just do an audio. That's available too. Benny Bilzerian, set some time aside, guys, and watch it. But don't leave Brand stream. No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm going to end in just a couple minutes anyways. I do have some catching up to do on some other Hex streams. So yeah, Joe had a good one with Grandma. Joe's got a whole bunch of streams, and it's cool to see that we can we can be happy with all the streams going on. Because last night myself, I was streaming with the Crypto Roundtable. It was actually Coffee that was hosting it, and then let's see, Maddie, I think he was still doing the stream, and then Funding Gym with Unwrecked Pirate were streaming too. So those are all good. They're not even problems. They're good things to have. The more information that you can spread out there, and that's the other thing too. Everyone has their own schedule, right? So the more information you can get out there about Hex or cross promotions and things that aren't even related to Hex, the better. We also got Maddie to 1,000 subscribers now. Now we get Brand to 1,000 subscribers and keeps on rolling. Hey, totally, man. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I've had my channel for like over 14 years, a long time. I even have videos that got deleted that when I changed, like in like 2010, I think, when YouTube changed, when they got bought out by Alphabet. So had some videos from like way back when, and it's cool that I've had the channel for such a long time, and I always just made like random videos, like stuff that I was interested in. And then crypto in 2017 got me like almost there, but Hex got me all the way through to actually put the face on camera, to throw away the alt accounts, and to come out. So happy to be here. I passed out and slept like a baby the minute it ended. Such a good stream. I was close to passing out like Wells. Yeah, exactly. I followed their stream for like a couple hours, and I need to finish the rest of it. So without further ado, we're going to let everyone get back to their schedules. Been streaming for an hour and 40 minutes, so I'll let everyone get back to it. Thanks everyone for being here. A one-off stream. Didn't expect to stream today, but happy about that. So yeah, you can go to BallietBran.com. You can go to allmylinks.com/BallietBran. Pretty much just BallietBran everywhere, right? Twitter, Telegram, Facebook, the whole nine. You can reach me. I'm pretty easy to reach. So without further ado, hope everyone takes it easy. Ethereum new all-time highs. It's amazing. I think February, it's either 8th or 9th that the actual the futures and whatnot goes live for the CME. And then Hex is at a penny. We had some pretty big candles. I mean, 30% candle is 45% in a couple of days is pretty fucking good. So Identity Block, good seeing you. We'll all stream together soon. And yep, see you on the next one, guys.